Mr. President,
Majority Leader.
pursuant to Impeachment Rule 16, I make a motion. Statements were attributed to me moments ago by the House impeachment managers. Statements relating to the content of conversations between a phone call involving President Trump and Senator Tuberville were not made by me. They're not accurate, and they're contrary to fact. I move pursuant to Rule 16 that they be stricken from the record.
Pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. Senator,
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
Mr. President, Mr. President, right here, we might as well hear clearly what the ruling of the chair was. So if you would repeat that.
Of course, I will. And pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, the parties' presentations are not limited. Pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. The senator from Utah has appealed that ruling. Is that correct?
Yes, I have.
And the yeas and nays have been requested for sufficient.
And what is the question? Is it, shall the ruling of the chair be sustained? Is that the question?
Yes.
Whether the ruling of the chair with respect to
No.
And what, may I ask, is the ruling of the chair? My point was not about whether it's appropriate for them to make characterizations. My point was to strike them because they were false.
whether the ruling of the chair that Senate Resolution 47 applies to this situation is correct.
The question is whether Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, is correct. The parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution.
Mr. President, that is not my motion. You've ruled on a motion. You've ruled on something that was not what I moved. What I asked was, statements were attributed to me repeatedly, as to which I have personal knowledge because I have the source. They are not true. I never made those statements. I asked that they be stricken. This has nothing to do with whether or not they're based on depositions, which they're not. It's simply based on the fact that I'm the witness. I'm the only witness. Those statements are not true, and I ask that you strike them.
President. Mr. President.
No, who's talking? Joe. What is it?
The yeas and nays were asked for on an appeal.
Mr. President.
The Senate will vote on the appeal of the ruling of the chair that this
Is
Can you hit the mic button?
Come on.
I'm in trouble with the mic, I'm sorry. The yeas and nays have been asked.
Yeas and nays have been asked for.
The yeas and nays have been requested.
Let him explain. Please let him explain, Mr. President. Why is it false? What was not false? What was false about it?
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to answer the senator's
Debate
question.
is not in order under Senate Resolution 47, Section 4. Parties' presentation not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. And that has been appealed. The yeas and nays have been requested. The clerk will call the roll.
She's calling the roll.
Ms. Baldwin. Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Bennett.
Wait, point of clarification. What is the question? We're not allowed to here. Yes? I suggest the absence of a quorum while we work this out.
Clerk will call the roll. No objection, clerk call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin. Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Bennett. Mrs. Blackburn. Mr. Blunt. Mr. Booker. Mr. Bozeman. Mr. Braun. Mr. Brown.
There's a quorum call. There's a quorum call underway. Without objection, the quorum call. There will be order.
Mr. President, we need order.
Will be in order.
Okay.
Without.
But before he withdraws.
I withdraw the request for the yeas and nays.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Okay, and I withdraw the quorum call and call on the manager, Mr. Raskin, for a brief statement.
The impeachment manager, Mr. Cicilline, correctly and accurately quoted a newspaper account, which the distinguished senator has taken objection to, so we're happy to withdraw it. But on the grounds that it is not true, and we are going to
repeated it too.
Okay, we're going to withdraw it this evening and without any prejudice to the ability to resubmit it if possible, and then we could debate it if we need it, but this is much ado about nothing because it's not critical in any way to our case.
You're not the one being cited as a witness, sir.
It's with, so the manager's issue stands. Mr. Lee has withdrawn his request, and we may relitigate it tomorrow if we have to. I now ask unanimous consent, the trial adjourn until 12 noon tomorrow, Thursday.